Chen Zhao can summon demons and see death. Beppy, use your ability as an overeater to treat this client's anorexia. Raymond, this elderly person wants to regain male abilities, you understand. Old Black, to be honest with me, when and how will this person die? What? You don't know, you're the Grim Reaper. That girl needs a breast enhancement, beauty, and slimming package, etc. It seems that I don't have these demons with subordinate abilities around me yet, so I still need to go to hell. Devil Book Friends Group 6667644442, please send a complete screenshot to join the group. Keywords of the novel. Devil is right beside you without pop-ups, Devil is right beside you. Download the complete text and read the latest chapters on Devil is right beside you. Chapter 1. I am here to save foreign people in dire straits. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. I am here to save foreign people in dire straits. Chen Zhao walked out of the airport dragging her luggage. I heard that foreign people live in dire straits, and with the philosophy of serving the world, I must come to save them. There are two women standing at the gate, one of whom is Chen Zhao's mother, and the other is a white woman who is her assistant, seemingly named Sally. Chen Zhao is an accident doctor who has experienced medical accidents in China and is no longer able to engage in related work there. So her mother brought Chen Zhao to the United States, which is not difficult for the chairman of a pharmaceutical company. Of course, in return, Chen Zhao will donate her own bone marrow when her daughter, Chen Zhao's half-sister, needs it. Chen Zhao's mother and father divorced a long time ago and went abroad to work. Now, Chen Zhao's mother is the CEO of a pharmaceutical company. But this has little to do with Chen Zhao, they are more like familiar strangers. Over the years, their connections have been few and far between. And Chen Zhao's mother's help to him was more like a transaction. Of course, their relationship cannot be considered bad either. My parents divorced in the early years, it's not anyone's fault, it's just because we couldn't get along, it's that simple. There is nothing to dislike poverty and love wealth, nor is there anything forced by reality. Then Chen Zhao chose to work with her father, it was so simple. Chen Zhao is not the kind of person who lacks maternal love. This is your green card, as well as your bank card, which contains $10,000. Thank you. Chen Zhao took the things. Is there anything else I can help with? No more. Give me a call when she needs it. Chen Zhao's mother nodded and said, which industry do you plan to work in? I don't need you to worry, I have my own plan. What a plan, Chen Zhao doesn't even know where to live now. If you plan to return to your old profession, it's best to get a medical license first. If you practice medicine illegally, you will be deported and imprisoned. I understand. After bidding farewell to her mother, Chen Zhao dragged her bow and got into a taxi. Where are we going? The taxi driver is a black man. Help me find a motel, thank you. Chen Zhao's English pronunciation is not very standard. Koreans. Japanese. Chinese. Chinese people. Hello, my name is Vincent. What are you here for? Escape. Oh my God, is China so dangerous? No, I had some issues domestically, so I had to flee abroad. Gangs. Okay, I'm a doctor, Chen Zhao replied helplessly. Chen Zhao heard that every black person is talkative, and Vincent proved this very well. Hey buddy, can you tell me what's going on? The patient I took over underwent surgery on him without his family signing a disclaimer. Unfortunately, he died, and then I became the culprit. Okay, this is a sad story. Why didn't the family sign a disclaimer? Chen Zhao really doesn't want to discuss this topic. Could she tell this black guy that this is a common tactic in some medical disputes, and let him join her in condemning the cold-blooded and ruthless Chinese people? Do you have any requirements for accommodation? The requirements are very simple, the environment is good, clean and tidy, the food is delicious, the price is cheap, and it's best to have more beautiful women. Okay, I know a hotel that only costs $10 per night. Vincent automatically omitted the other requirements and only understood that it was cheap. Chen Zhao was very helpless and happily accepted this motel. The motel recommended by Vincent to Chen Zhao is located in the suburbs of Los Angeles, surrounded by desolate sand. It seems that Vincent knows the owner of this motel, a bearded, chubby white old man, perhaps in a remote location, so there is not much business. The owner is dozing off at the counter. "Hi Ethan, I brought you a guest, a lovely Asian." Ethan slowly opened his eyes and his reaction seemed a bit slow. He looked at Vincent and then at Chen Zhao, saying, "Okay, $15 a night." "Hey Ethan, don't do this, this is my brother." "Okay, if cash is given, I'll give you $10 per night and offer you a breakfast." Chen Zhao exchanged some cash before coming, so she readily paid for 10 nights of accommodation. "Do you have any identification?" "A driver's license is also acceptable." After Chen Zhao took out his green card and registered, Ethan took Chen Zhao to a room. It's not as dirty and messy as imagined, at least within Chen Zhao's acceptable range, with a bathroom and a bedroom, one side by the window, so the lighting is quite good. "Vincent, can you leave me your contact information? If I need a car, I will contact you." "Of course, I would be happy to." Vincent hugged Chen Zhao before leaving, but Chen Zhao still couldn't adapt to the overly enthusiastic etiquette of the Americans. However, Vincent is a naturally familiar black person, and at least Chen Zhao has a quite good impression of him. "This is my own home now, at least for a long time in the future, I will be living here. Until one earns enough money or is unable to survive." Chen Zhao took out her bow, and when she took out a metal box, she appeared particularly solemn. This metal box is passed down from generation to generation by the Chen family. Chen Zhao's father was a martial artist in the martial arts world during his lifetime. Chen Zhao is curious about how his semi-illiterate father pursued a female academic powerhouse mother. It is said that once the metal box is opened, one needs to inherit the Chen family's family business. However, Chen Zhao has been unable to open this box, so she is very grateful. After all, even a third-rate doctor is much better than being a martial artist, at least Chen Zhao thinks so. Suddenly, the door suddenly opened, and Chen Zhao, who was standing behind the door, stumbled and the metal box in her hand fell to the ground. Then, the metal box, which had been tried countless times but had not been opened, was opened in this very imprecise way. "Sorry, I didn't hurt you, did I?" Ethan stood outside the door, holding a hamburger topper in his hand. It's okay, is it for me?" "No, I'm just coming up to see if you need any help." "It seems like there isn't. Goodbye." Ethan's answer left Chen Zhao frozen in mid-air, appearing awkward and disappointed, especially when Chen Zhao was very hungry. Chen Zhao closed the door again and picked up the metal box on the ground. Chen Zhao originally thought that there was something inside this metal box, perhaps it was a secret recipe or a treasure. But there was nothing inside, nothing, which made Chen Zhao, who was already very disappointed, even more disappointed. More than double the disappointment of not getting food. Chen Zhao was about to put the metal box back on the table when she suddenly kicked something under her feet. Where did the dog come from? Chen Zhao noticed an extra Shapi dog at her feet. "Hey, you'd better be polite." Shapi Go turned around and spoke in a way that Chen Zhao couldn't understand. "I'm the Lord of Hell, Bexabu Vito." End of this chapter. 2. In Chapter 2, Is This Shapi Dog a Demon? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Is This Shapi Dog a Demon? Chen Zhao mentioned Shapi Dog and said, "It is said that a few people may experience auditory hallucinations after flying, so it should be my hallucination." "Human, you are insulting a hellish lord. Do you understand what this means? Do you know that Chinese people have over 100 ways to cook dog meat?" Chen Zhao didn't hesitate at all, mainly because his mind hadn't turned around yet. "Human, you cannot do this. I was summoned by you. Did I summon you? Did I summon you? Chen Zhao slowly put down the Shapi dog, who claimed to be the Lord of Hell. At this moment, his mind was a bit confused. No, to be precise, it was very chaotic. Yes, I am a subordinate of the King of Gluttony, Bezeb Vito. How did I summon you? Chen Zhao asked. How do I know? Summoning demons, shouldn't we offer sacrifices or something like that? What ritual did I perform just now? I don't know, anyway I felt your signs, so I came. So what can you do for me? It should be said that you need me to do something for you. Chen Zhao didn't understand how Shibu appeared. But now he wants to figure out what's the use of summoning this talking sand dog. I want money, a lot of money. Chen Zhao made a very vulgar request. Please, I am a subordinate of the Gluttony King, not the greedy King Mammon. I don't do such vulgar things. So how can I summon the subordinates of Mammon? Chen Zhao is now interested in this question again. I don't even know why I was summoned by you. If you ask me how to summon other Demon King subordinates, do you think I might know? So how can I send you back? Eat, I want to eat, satisfy my desires. Chen Zhao called room service and said, Ethan, get me something to eat. Before long, Ethan brought the food and a few homemade burgers. $10, thank you for your patronage. However, when Ethan saw the Shapi dog Beppy, he said, my hotel doesn't allow pets. I'll find a place to bury it later, and then I'll call the Animal Protection Association to tell them that you slaughtered a pet dog. Okay, I'm joking. Ethan is a bully and cowardly American. You should be friendly to me. I am your summoning demon, and there is a contract between you and me. I suddenly felt that if I killed you, maybe I could replace it with a more useful demon. You will be punished, you evil human. Alright, eat enough and then roll back to hell, otherwise I can't help but make you into dog meat hot pot. Human food is the only place where I yearn for the world. Bessie ate a hamburger in one bite. Unfortunately, my body is too small, 2 are already the limit. Are demons' appetites so small? It's just that my projection can only appear in this form. Damn it, can you please become stronger next time you summon me? Let me have a bigger body. Is this related to me? Of course, the stronger your power, the larger your body can summon me. I should be grateful for my weakness, otherwise I'm afraid my wealth won't satisfy your appetite. See you next time, then. No, it will never be seen. Chen Zhao didn't hide her disgust. Beppy slowly disappeared, right in front of Chen Zhao. Chen Zhao also filled his stomach, and he was also hungry. Suddenly, Chen Zhao recalled that before the appearance of Beppy, it was she who saw the food in Ethan's hand and developed an appetite. And then the next moment, Beppy appeared. Could it be because of this reason? Appetite. Chen Zhao looked at the hamburger on the table, but her mind was imagining a feast of Manchus and Han people. Gudon, the familiar little body appeared again, and Beppy looked at Chen Zhao with a sad expression on his face. You promised never to see me again. Why summon me again? I'm just trying, there's still a hamburger on the table. After finishing, get out of here. I can't eat it, what I just ate hasn't been digested yet. It's really troublesome, I still need to try summoning other demons. If you allow me to use my abilities, I can accelerate digestion. Use it, use it. Gollum, at this moment, Chen Zhao suddenly felt very hungry, very hungry. This feeling was 10 times stronger than before. Chen Zhao immediately picked up a hamburger and wolfed it down. Still hungry. Strange, what's going on? Chen Zhao looked fiercely at Shibu and said, did you do it? It was you who promised me to use my abilities. Beppy shrank his eyes, looking a bit afraid of Chen Zhao. This ability is useless, Chen Zhao pouted. It's not practical at all. If the projection you summon is strong enough, I can make a person endure to death. I am a doctor, not a killer. My duty is to save people, not to kill. And your ability is just to make me eat an extra hamburger. You are too weak, you pitiful human. I feel like I can have another meal of dog meat hot pot now. Humans, we have a contract to exist. And then what? If I eat you, what will I do? Die. Or become a demon. You will. Bexy-boo was a bit confused. When I go back, I will check the devil's manual and then tell you. Obviously, this is not a demon who doesn't do his homework. But you don't know what's going to happen, so you definitely wouldn't dare to kill me, human. Bessie is quite adept at speculating about human nature. Similarly, you are now under my control, right? You don't have to rely on me to help you fulfill certain impossible wishes. Come on, roll on the ground 3 times. Human, are you challenging the dignity of a demon lord? What kind of punishment will you receive if you violate the summoner's command? 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, good dog. I'm not a dog, I'm a demon. You despicable human. 3 more laps. 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles. Let's make peace. The second wave is cowardly. I thought the demon would be more determined. In fact, it's not that our thoughts and concepts are fundamentally the same, said Bessie. If we set aside the differences in species, our biggest difference is that we demons are more rational than you humans. Do you still know the concept of species? Many of you on Earth are in hell, so it can be said that you are the majority. So, hell should be more developed than humans. After all, there are many geniuses in hell, and after they die once, they shouldn't die again, right? In fact, it's not that their souls will only remember some things after entering hell, and the longer they go on, the less memory they have. Therefore, we can only know the general situation of the human world from their mouths. However, if we want to rely on those human geniuses to develop hell, it is obviously unlikely. Moreover, we demons are more passionate about destruction than creation. Are there many people in this world who can summon demons like me? In fact, I may not be the only demon in the past 1,000 years who has been summoned out of hell. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. I am the demon lord of our village. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. I am the demon lord of our village. Chen Zhao looked at the metal box on the table and said, "Do you know that box?" "What box?" "That's it." "Which one?" "The one on the table." "Where else is there a box on the table except for that lamp?" Bessie's dog face was completely bewildered. Chen Zhao was a bit puzzled and looked at Bei Shibu, saying, "You really haven't seen anything." "Humans, there's nothing there at all." "He or it really can't see anything." "Is it because of this metal box?" Chen Zhao was not very sure and went forward to pick up the metal box. However, in Bexy-boo's view, Chen Zhao was just holding on to the air. Chen Zhao opened the metal box and found an extra one inside. Chen Zhao is very certain that before this, there was nothing inside the metal box. Chen Zhao took out the bead, and Bexy-boo immediately screamed, "Devil crystal." "What? Devil's crystal?" Chen Zhao was even more puzzled as to how this demon's crystal could be here. Also, what is the purpose of this demon crystal? And Bexy-boo seemed very nervous about this demon crystal. "Give it to me." Bexy-boo suddenly rushed towards Chen Zhao. However, Chen Zhao lifted his foot and kicked Bexy-boo away directly. The weakness of this bastard little devil is not much different from that of an ordinary Shapi dog, except for his strange ability. And since he is so nervous about this demon crystal, it indicates that it is a good thing. Chen Zhao put the demon crystal back into the metal box, and Bexy-boo immediately shouted, "Where did you hide the demon crystal? Give me the demon crystal, and I can fulfill any of your wishes." "Hee hee. Believe you, there's a ghost," Chen Zhao thought to herself. "First, tell me what demon crystals are." Something that prolongs lifespan, said Bessie. Do your demons also suffer from the problem of lifespan? Of course, besides the upper-level demons, little demons like us are at most 200 years old. What about the agreed demon lord? I am indeed the demon lord, I am the demon lord of our village. Chen Zhao was in a daze for a moment, but upon reflection, she knew that since she was so weak, how could she really summon any great demon? So how much longer can such a demon crystal increase your lifespan? Let's do it for a year. Only 1 year. So little. Otherwise, what do you think? If it were a small one, it would be good if it could last for a year. Give me that demon crystal, I'm almost dead. If it weren't for the demon crystal, maybe I wouldn't be dead for long. To be honest, how old are you this year? I can't remember clearly. How old are you? I demand you to be honest, Chen Zhao said in a commanding tone. Let's change the topic. Are you going to refuse my command? Okay, I'm 30 years old this year. What? You're only 30 years old. Is it strange? If you consider yourself a minor according to the age group of humans, right? We demons are different. We know a lot from birth, and our bodies grow faster. In just a few months, we can fully mature. I forgot to say, I am already a father of 15 children, and my wife just gave birth to a litter for me. Do you demons use their nests as units when giving birth to children? Knocking and knocking, who? Chen Zhao asked. Police, please open the door. There was a woman's voice outside. Chen Zhao did not believe it lightly. When she arrived, her mother had told her that even if someone claimed to be a police officer, they must first see their identification documents. Chen Zhao slightly opened the door, which was still hanging with a bolt. She saw a woman in plain clothes holding a document in her hand. May I ask if there is anything I can do? Just now there was a robbery downstairs. Can I ask you a few questions? Robbery. You don't suspect that I did it, do you? I didn't suspect you, in fact, the hotel owner just said, thanks to you letting him deliver food to your room at that time, otherwise you might have encountered that bandit. Chen Zhao breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing this. After all, as a newcomer, he still doesn't want to cause too much trouble. Chen Zhao opened the door and said, do you need to come in and sit down? The policewoman walked in and looked at the room, saying, is this your dog? Wang Wang, can I bite this human? Beppy let out a burst of dog barks, but strangely, what Chen Zhao heard was human language. I picked it up. I think it's a sick and crazy dog. It's best not to get close to it. I plan to get a few shots and get a pet certificate in the next few days. Okay, the female police officer heard Chen Zhao's words and actually had a better impression of her. After all, being able to pick up a dog should be a caring person. 20 minutes ago, you were all in the room, weren't you? Yes. Did you hear any movement at that time? No. Have you seen any suspicious objects? I was in the room at the time. I mean, did you look out the window? No. Okay, if you remember anything later, you can contact the police. Can you give me your phone number? Chen Zhao asked shamelessly. The female police officer smiled and said, of course, but I don't have much time. If you want to treat me to dinner, it's best to make an appointment in advance. This policewoman is not the very beautiful woman in American dramas, and her skeleton is a bit large, but her figure is quite good. This is my phone number. Please contact me when you have time. Goodbye. Goodbye, Jelen. As soon as Jelen left, Ethan came up with his back foot. Chen, this is what I gave you, along with your pet. Ethan brought a lot of food and drinks, including several hamburgers and grilled meat. Ethan, I heard that I didn't actually do anything. No, although you are unintentional, I believe that it must be the will of God. Please accept my little intention. Okay then, I won't hesitate. I won't disturb you anymore. Wishing you a beautiful dream. Wong Wong, don't Shibu shout there, your master's God is clearly the credit of my master, why should it be attributed to God? You human chubby guy, hurry up and die for me. Does this little guy like me so much? Ethan smiled when he heard Bessie's barking. Chen Zhao rolled her eyes. Which of your eyes did you see him like you? He's asking you to die, alright, little devil, don't disturb other guests, be honest with me. Chen Zhao patted Bei Shibu. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Becoming a non-staff doctor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Becoming a non-staff doctor. Knocking and knocking, at night, Chen Zhao heard a hurried knocking on the door. What time is it? Chen Zhao opened her eyes in a daze and saw that the sky was still very dark outside the window. Chen, did you hear me? I'm Ethan. Chen Zhao got up to smear and kick something under her feet. Wang, human, you stepped on me. Why haven't you returned to hell yet? I don't want to go back yet. Chen Zhao ignored Bei Shibu and stepped forward to open the door, saying, Is Ethan okay? Chen, I heard Vincent say, are you a doctor? It used to be, but not now. A tenant has something wrong. Can you help me take a look? I don't want him to die in my hotel. Chen Zhao rubbed her forehead and said, Did you call an ambulance? The hospital closest to here is half an hour's walk, and in half an hour, it should be able to be taken to the morgue. But I don't have a medical license. Don't worry, I understand the rules, I won't talk nonsense. Ethan took out a few $10 from his pocket and said, Let's take this as your medical deposit. Wait a moment, I'll take my tools. This time when going abroad, Chen Zhao brought all her belongings, most of which were medical equipment for medical purposes. However, the shipping cost was even more expensive than these medical devices themselves, which made Chen Zhao feel sorry for a long time. Chen Zhao used to work in the emergency room, but later the room was not a place for people to stay, so she was transferred to the surgical department. As a result, the pressure in the surgical department was greater than in the emergency room. After passing a corner and 3 rooms, Ethan pushed the door and led Chen Zhao in. Chen Zhao saw a young woman lying on the ground, convulsing slightly. There were scattered white powder on the table next to her. Did she overdo drugs? Chen Zhao asked. Chen Zhao immediately checked her pulse, pupils, and heart rate. Low heart rate, low blood pressure, contracted pupils, and purple lips. I don't have naloxone, Chen Zhao's face was solemn. Is there a way? Does the fastest ambulance take half an hour to arrive? There's no way, Ethan said helplessly. She's only 16 years old, I hope she can make it through. You try your best. Chen Zhao thought for a moment and realized that this girl was using drugs through inhalation. In other words, if she could vomit at this time, it could indeed alleviate the symptoms of poisoning, at least allowing her to hold on for more than half an hour. Chen Zhao took out a set of silver needles and stabbed them into Qimen, Tiandu, and Ling Tai. This acupuncture and moxibustion technique was learned from an acquaintance of my father, but I haven't seen that person since my father passed away. These 3 acupoints are connected to the stomach at the same time and can play a role in inducing vomiting. However, after waiting for a minute, the woman had no reaction. Chen Zhao's face changed slightly, she lifted the girl's clothes and touched her abdomen with her hand. On an empty stomach, Ethan, do you know how long she hasn't eaten? She seems to have not gone out these past 2 days. She asked me to bring food last night, but she hasn't called me today. Is there a problem? Drug users are already physically weak, and coupled with an empty stomach, they are more prone to poisoning. Because when drugs are inhaled into the body, they cannot be diluted by food, which is the most deadly. She must stuff something into her stomach and then have her vomit toxic substances and food together. Go get some food, Chen Zhao said. Do you have a way to make her eat? Give it a try, if not, she won't be able to hold on for half an hour. As soon as Ethan left, Chen Zhao immediately said to Beppy, use your ability to make her eat. People who use drugs have no appetite because drugs affect their physiological functions, causing the body to make incorrect judgments. People who use drugs for a long time are likely to cause permanent damage to their bodies. So absolutely no drug use, no reason, no excuse. Moreover, the girl is still in a coma at this moment, and normal eating and feeding are difficult to work with. But her consciousness is still there, which is also her survival instinct. But Chen Zhao felt hungry. Damn it, why are you using my abilities? I couldn't control you so accurately within this range, so you were also affected. Remember to stay away from me next time. The food is here. Ethan's movements were quick, holding a lot of food. Meat doesn't work, bread and cola. Put them in her mouth. Do you have chopsticks? Forget it. Chen Zhao directly pointed her finger at the girl's mouth. Meat can cause swallowing blockages without chewing, and when unconscious, it is absolutely not recommended to force eating with meat. Is that okay? Ethan couldn't help but worry as he saw Chen Zhao's rough way of stuffing food in. In the absence of medication and corresponding emergency equipment, this is the only way, either to watch her die. Suddenly, Chen Zhao saw a phantom climb up from the girl's body. Soul! Go back! Chen Zhao shouted loudly, and the phantom was also startled and lay down again. In the next moment, the girl's body twitched violently, followed by a whoosh, and she vomited wildly. Chen Zhao and Ethan exchanged a glance and both let out a long sigh of relief. Let her eat something, wait for the ambulance to arrive, take her to the hospital for further examination. Chen Zhao packed her things and stood up, intending to leave. This girl's situation is very common in this country. Chen Zhao is just an outsider, so he has no intention of transforming into a fighter for justice and fighting against drugs. I have no intention of transforming into a teacher for the people and educating this young girl. Chen, thank you for your hard work. Chen Zhao looked at the girl, shook her head, and abandoned the equipment box before leaving. Chen Zhao slept until noon, then lazily stretched out and woke up. After washing, one person and one dog went out to search for food. 100 meters away from the motel, there is a hamburger restaurant. After Chen Zhao and Bei Shibu had eaten and drank enough, they finally came back with their stomachs full. Chen, are you up yet? Ethan sat in front of the counter, playing with his phone. When he saw Chen Zhao, he took the initiative to say hello. Good morning. No, good afternoon. Chen, do you have a business card? Business card. No, you want my business card. It's not me, but I think you need a business card. Why? If you want to work in the medical profession. I don't even have a medical license now. What I mean is to be an off-duty doctor. Believe me, don't take the medical license exam because if you can't get it, you just arrived in the United States and can't get it. I can help you introduce a few clients, who are paying in cash, to ensure that you won't be detected. Of course, I will draw a commission. Is there any danger? Ethan's suggestion made Chen Zhao hesitant. He knew that it was difficult to obtain a medical license in the United States, let alone that his diploma was a domestic one, which may not be recognized by the United States. Ethan's suggestion is to give up going through formal channels and instead become a quack doctor. Don't worry, the clients I introduce to you will definitely not report you to the police or other government departments. No, I mean, is your client safe? I don't want to work as a health consultant for any mafia. I don't know any mafia, maybe some people are involved in the dark zone, but rest assured that the clients I introduce to you will first ensure your safety. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. First Customer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 First Customer. To obtain a medical license, one needs to be familiar with the medical laws and regulations in the United States, which is equivalent to taking the college entrance examination again. This also means that for a long time in the future, Chen Zhao will not have a stable source of income. And my own money is definitely not enough to sustain it for such a long time. So after careful consideration, Chen Zhao still decided to accept Ethan's opinion. Chen, since you have accepted my suggestion, I also have some rules that need to be explained to you in advance. I am only responsible for acting as an intermediary, with a 20% commission. Of course, only the clients I recommend will receive the commission. If it is a client you have developed yourself, then it is not related to me. For some special clients, you can choose to refuse, and between you and the patient, it can only be a medical relationship, which cannot exceed the scope of this relationship. Occasionally, some sexual encounters may occur. It doesn't matter, as long as you don't have any emotional disputes, and you absolutely can't disclose any information about patients, especially privacy or defects, to anyone. Even I can't say it, it's for you, for me, for the customer. All three parties are good, I understand. Also, every customer must have a cash transaction and absolutely no transfer record. Otherwise, the tax bureau can find you. You must pay before seeking medical treatment because some customers' financial situation is not stable, and they may have died in a corner when you pursue debt. Additionally, if a customer requires you to sign certain medical certificates, do not sign them. No amount of money can be given, understand? A lot, I understand. As for your safety, you can rest assured that even if you treat a certain gang leader, and even if you see something that shouldn't be seen during this process, no one will touch you. This is an industry rule. After all, if they dare to touch you, there will be no more people treating them. You can rest assured of this. Ethan, are you familiar with this industry? I haven't had any contact with doctors, but I have also worked as other intermediaries and the rules are similar. Although Ethan and Chen Zhao have reached an agreement, they will not leave a written contract and will only use oral form as a guarantee of the contract. Chen Zhao returned to her room and picked up a hamburger to eat, and it was outside the window under the sun. Don't be afraid of the sun, do you demons? Idiot human, I'm not a vampire. Is there really a vampire? Since demons exist, why don't vampires exist? On Earth or in Hell? Hell, there definitely doesn't exist in the world. Why is it so certain? Vampires are actually a branch of demons. In the past 1,000 years, no demons have descended on the human world, and the vampire subspecies left behind in the human world must have died. How could there be vampires? What subspecies? It has vampire characteristics, but cannot reproduce, which is called subspecies. Chen Zhao was purely curious and said, aren't all vampires immortal? How could immortality be possible? There are no truly immortal creatures in this world. Demons, gods, and vampires cannot do it. Most vampires have a lifespan of 500 years, and they cannot extend their lifespan through demon crystals. How do vampires breed? Do they just bite and become vampires? How could it be that purebred vampires are bred through normal bisexual reproduction, no different from humans and other demons breeding, while subspecies require very special rituals to complete transformation, but I am not a vampire, so I am not aware of this process. Beppy, you don't want to go back to hell, is it for the devil's crystallization? I said yes, will you give it to me? Chen Zhao thought for a moment and realized that Bixabu had been a big help yesterday, so he didn't mind giving him that demon crystal. Chen Zhao opened the metal box, but surprisingly, there was another demon crystal inside, which was much larger than the previous one. What's going on? Why are there two? Can this box produce demonic crystals? No, there must be a special reason. Chen Zhao recalled everything from yesterday and had some speculations in her heart. Is it because of saving people? The first demon crystal was because he asked Ethan to deliver food, so he passed by the robbers and avoided danger. Is the second demon crystal because I saved that girl? Beppy, how much longer can this demon crystal increase its lifespan? Beppy immediately transformed into a real Shapi dog, pouncing in front of Chen Zhao, sticking out his tongue, and the dog's head was filled with the eyes of she. At least 5 years, how many demon crystals do you have? This has nothing to do with you. Take it, now, go back to hell. Wang, Beppy took the demon crystal in one bite and slowly disappeared from his body. Chen Zhao held the small demon crystal and wondered if it was useful for humans. I forgot. I should have asked Bushibu how to use this thing just now. At this moment, Chen Zhao's phone rang and said, Chen, do you have time? I'll help you receive an order for a fee of $300. What is the other person's illness? I don't know, but it's quite urgent. Send the address to my phone. The address has already been sent. If you don't know the place, you can contact Vincent. He has been driving a taxi for 10 years and is very familiar with Los Angeles. Do you have his phone number? Good. Chen Zhao dialed Vincent's phone and Vincent readily agreed. Before long, Chen Zhao got into Vincent's car. Vincent has been circling left and right for 20 minutes and has already arrived at the destination. Chen Zhao rolled down the car window and said, Is that right here? In front of me is a villa covered by palm trees, with an iron door at the entrance. Chen Zhao walked up to the iron gate and said to the guard at the door, Hi buddy, I'm a doctor. I made an appointment with Mr. Dell. Wait a moment. The guard took out the walkie-talkie and released it after confirming Chen Zhao's identity. When I walked to a swimming pool, I saw men and women playing in the water or by the shore, wearing swimsuit bikinis. Under the guidance of the guards, Chen Zhao pushed open the door to a bedroom. Inside was a pair of men and women, with a blonde and white girl sitting by the window holding a wine glass and a cigarette in the other hand. The man sits with his head down by the bed, feeling a bit down. Boss, this is the doctor you hired. Asians. Is there any problem? Chen Zhao put down the equipment box. No, please help me take a look. What questions do you have? End of this chapter. 6. Add another capable assistant to Chapter 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Add another capable assistant. Chen Zhao was not too surprised. In fact, when he came in and saw the expressions of both men and women, he roughly guessed the situation. Chen Zhao put on gloves and grabbed the entire dead loach, saying, Do you feel it? Did you take any medication beforehand? No. Do you have a habit of taking medication or are you allergic to any medication? No. Bastard, can you do it quickly? If you just need me to make it easy for you to stand up right away, but are you sure you don't need to make sure it works in the future? Okay, buddy, am I sick? Tell me about your highest frequency. From yesterday to today, I've been having parties here. About 5 times, maybe more, and 1 time by hand. Chen Zhao listened to the man's heart rate again and asked, Did you come to me just now because you couldn't get tough while flirting? Yes, I feel like my emotions have reached them, but I just can't get up hard. This requires me to give you a few injections. In fact, this man is already suffering from kidney deficiency. Even Chen Zhao can only make him stand up for a while in the future, but it cannot last too long unless he can change his lifestyle. Do you want to get an injection? No, acupuncture and moxibustion. Will it hurt? No, your body is very weak now. If you continue to maintain this lifestyle, perhaps within 6 months, you will suffer from permanent impotence. I understand. Can you help me solve the current situation first? Chen Zhao opened the box, but as soon as she opened it, she was immediately startled to find a snake nestled inside. Snake. Why are you carrying a snake? The man was also startled and quickly ran away. Sizzle, human. How did I come to this world? You called me here. Don't be afraid, this is my pet. Wait a moment. Chen Zhao was also a bit confused about the situation, so she mentioned the colorful snake and left the room. Who are you? I am a subordinate of the King of Lust, Raymond Gala. Okay, I don't know under what circumstances I summoned you, but since you are a subordinate of the King of Lust, you should be able to arouse human desire, right? It seems that you are quite familiar with demons. Yes, I can indeed do it, but you need to offer me sacrifices. What do you need? You need to find me 10 snakes that are equivalent to mine. Do you like to eat snakes? No, I want to chow them. Okay, no problem, but can we use this thing instead? Chen Zhao took out a demon crystal from his pocket, and Raymond immediately wrapped it around Chen Zhao's arm. Of course, thank you for your generosity. You are the greatest, most generous, and selfless human being I have ever seen. It is my honor to know you, and you are a good person. Wait. I accept all the praise earlier, let's forget about the word good person. Why don't humans all claim to be good people? Have you had contact with many humans? No, you are the only living person, but I have enslaved several human souls. So you say I am the greatest, most generous, and selfless human you have ever seen. Is there any problem? You are the only one, so of course you are the greatest, most generous, and most selfless human. It makes sense. Chen Zhao nodded and guessed in her heart that it might be the desire she had just seen on this occasion along the way, which led to the summoning of Raymond. If you apply your abilities to him, how long can he last? It depends on your wishes. If you need it, I will let him die of overwork within 7 days or enhance his abilities. Don't forget, as long as he maintains a normal state, he can have desires when he should. Chen Zhao has a clear positioning of herself as a doctor rather than a killer. Can't keep it for too long, at most 6 months. It won't be too long, I plan to do long-term business, Chen Zhao said. That's no problem then. Chen Zhao thought that his acupuncture and moxibustion could relieve the customer for several months, and Raymond could also solve the problem for several months. When time passes, he will naturally look for himself again, and this is already worth the $300 he paid. After a few minutes, Chen Zhao returned to her room. Where's your snake? The snake's head crawled out of Chen Zhao's collar, and the man was a bit afraid. Isn't it biting you? Raymond, say hello to my friend. Raymond slid out of his collar and climbed onto the man's hand along Chen Zhao's arm. The man was still a bit scared and said, It doesn't bite, does it? It looks like this is a highly venomous snake. Raymond rubbed his head against the man's palm and then crawled into his pocket along Chen Zhao's arm. Hee hee. Interesting little thing, I'm considering whether I should also have one. Del, if you dare to raise them, then we'll break up. The woman immediately spoke up, and the man named Dale immediately hesitated. Okay, dear, I'm just casually saying it. I still suggest that you don't raise snakes. Snakes are not very intelligent and difficult to tame. Don't let others raise them yourself, especially venomous snakes, which are very dangerous. How did you tame it? It looks very well behaved. For the sake of your happy life, I think we should return to this topic. Alright, Chen Zhao stood up and said. Alright. Why didn't I feel anything? Del looked down and found several needles stuck to his leg and little brother. Ah. When did you get them stuck? I'll prescribe 2 traditional Chinese medicines for you, and you can go to the Chinese medicine store to pick them up according to the prescription. When will it work? This time, you should be able to stand up within 10 minutes, but it's best for you to follow my advice. After all, my method can only last for about 6 to 8 months. I feel it, it's hard, it's hard. Del exclaimed excitedly, Alright, Suela, let's do it. Wait. Can we settle our accounts first? You wait, Suela, let's start. Mr. Del. Chen Zhao looked at Del with a dark face. This is my territory, yellow race. I'll make you wait. Chen Zhao squinted her eyes and touched Raymond in her pocket. Are you sure you want me to wait? What's going on with you? $300, thank you for your patronage. If you still need it next time, it's best to prepare $3,000 in cash. I'll give it, you make it stand up immediately. Chen Zhao patted Dell's shoulder, and Dell felt a surge of power underneath. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. You seduced other demons behind my back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. You seduced other demons behind my back. Dell didn't rush to bed anymore and sent Chen Zhao out of the estate. Sorry, Chen. It was my fault just now. I hope you can come to my estate as a guest when you have time. My estate has always been so lively, and I think my girls would also welcome your arrival. Of course, including Suela. Thank you. I will come when I have time. Chen Zhao doesn't want to waste her energy here, but this kind of scene of wine and meat is really tempting. It seems that she should first find a fixed female companion. Chen Zhao opened her phone and found the female police officer Golin she met yesterday. She is a good partner. Returning to the motel and at the counter, he said, Ethan, this is yours, $60. How was it? How did it feel to take on an order for the first time? That client is really difficult to deal with. Next time he asks me again, please help me quote $3,000. You're crazy, $3,000. Although he has money, he will definitely not accept this price. Believe me, he will. Ethan smiled when he saw Chen Zhao's confidence and said, I didn't see you wrong. Since you saved that girl yesterday, I know you're definitely not an ordinary doctor. Okay, although I am studying Western medicine, my level of traditional Chinese medicine is not weak either. No, that's not what I'm saying. That day, you faced the girl's soul and urged her to return to your own body. You. Although I couldn't see it, I guessed it. It must be like this. Are you a legendary witch doctor? Please, Ethan, don't joke anymore. I'm not joking, I'm very accurate in identifying people. It must be like this. That night, the rescuers who came over later said, it's a miracle that that girl survived. I'm hungry, give me 2 hamburgers. Ethan, the burgers you made are really delicious. Of course, it's just a $2 bill. Can't you please me? I can give you half the price, but if you want me to give it away for free, there's no need to negotiate. Okay, give me another bottle of cola. Chen Zhao took out a bottle of cola from the nearby freezer. Didn't your doctor always promote that carbonated drinks are not good for the body? Our doctors also say that drinking alcohol is not good for our bodies, but we still know how to drink alcohol. Chen Zhao returned to the room and opened the metal box, only to find an additional demon crystal inside. However, this demon crystal was very small, possibly only the size of a finger. Aren't you going back to hell? Raymond crawled out of Chen Zhao's clothes, but it couldn't see the metal box or even touch it. Human, do you really want me to leave your side? Whatever you want, the demon I summoned last time doesn't really like to stay by my side. I think maybe by staying by your side, I can have more opportunities to showcase myself. There are still more opportunities to obtain the crystallization of demons. Chen Zhao pursed his lips. He wouldn't believe that a demon would like him. I don't deny that. Okay, you can stay as long as you want. Chen Zhao picked up a hamburger and started eating Coke. Do you want some? No need, the demon crystal you gave me just now, I haven't digested it yet, and I don't have much interest in human food. At that moment, Bexabu jumped out of the shadow. Don't be Shibu. Why did you come? Did I summon you? I felt the smell of food, leave me one. Wait. You still have a demon here. You actually summoned other demons behind my back. You despicable and shameless human, how could you do this? I thought I was your only one. Chen Zhao said with a black line on her face, if there were any options, would want to shake you off now and never summon you again. You. Ah. Bessie suddenly had an extra tail behind her. Raymond mercilessly bit behind Bessie, and Bessie jumped up in pain, dragging Raymond around the house. Damn it, you're the king of lust, a subordinate of Raymond. I knew it, it was these dirty and despicable bugs that lured you. It's okay, I'll help you get rid of it, I'll make it never appear by your side again. Just having me is enough for you. Don't be a subordinate of Shibu, you pitiful fat pigs. This is already my territory. Now, get out of here immediately and leave the world. Otherwise, I will help you undergo sterilization surgery. In fact, whether it's Beelzebul or Raymond, they are the names of their respective demon kings, not their names, and their surnames follow. They themselves have no names, only powerful demons have names. Two little demons were fighting fiercely in the room, but neither could do anything about the other. Demons in hell have territorial consciousness, but this is human and Chen Zhao's territory. Chen Zhao ignored the struggle between the two demons and tidied up his clothes because he had just made an appointment with Jelen. Jelen promised him to come out for dinner tonight, and Raymond climbed up to Chen Zhao's feet. Chen Zhao kicked Bexibu away without mercy. Vincent, as Chen Zhao's chauffeur, arrived outside the motel on time. Vincent, go to the Platinum Building. Chen, do you have a date tonight? Yes. Did you bring a condom? Free gift. Vincent took out a box from the box next to the driver's seat. Thank you. The Platinum Building is here. Wishing you a wonderful night. Chen Zhao and Go Lin agreed to meet at the restaurant on the top floor of the Platinum Building, which is a high-end Western restaurant with a slightly dim interior. However, the positions are close to the window, and you can see most of the night view of Los Angeles. Glenn was wearing a low-cut dress, her hair was up, and she had some foundation make dot up on her face. Jelen, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. You're so beautiful tonight. In fact, Chen Zhao had originally planned to pick up Jelen, but Jelen refused. I just arrived too. I thought I would make at least 10 offers before you could come out. I happen to be available today. Chen Zhao asked Go Lin to order the dishes first, and then he ordered the same one. What department do you work in at the police station? Serious case team, all I'm responsible for is homicide. The taste of this restaurant seems to be much better than last time, at least it's already worth its price. Chen Zhao also took a few bites and said, the taste is quite good. This taste is average, where can I afford the right price? The price on their table is at least $200, but the taste is at most unsatisfactory. Is it the difference in taste between the East and the West? End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Entering status. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Entering the state. I'm sorry, I ate a bit too much tonight. In China, girls who can eat represent good luck. But neither the East nor the West likes fat girls, right? I like plump girls, like you. Jelen does have a bit thick arms, but it's not considered fat, at least within the range that Chen Zhao can accept. What are you looking for? I suspect my pet has secretly followed me, Chen Zhao said, because Go Lin did eat a bit too much. Although Jelen's body is indeed larger than that of an average girl, she definitely cannot reach this appetite. So Chen Zhao suspects that there is another hidden truth behind this. Hey! Look there, your little devil is there. Jelen saw it and said, what's on its neck? Oh my! It's a snake. Chen Zhao rubbed her forehead and said, I hope we won't be kicked out. This high-end restaurant doesn't allow pets to come in, but Jelen smiled and said, anyway, I'm already full. Let's go out. The two of them arrived at the door, and two little demons followed them out. Why is there a snake on it? These are the ones I just found today, and they became friends. Good friends. It's unbelievable that a dog and a snake can become friends. Can it bite people? No, it's very good. Its name is Raymond. Since you're here, you must make the most of everything. Raymond, say hello to Jelen. Raymond raised his head high, then swung his head up and down, nodding. Oh my goodness, it's so smart. How did you do it? It's unbelievable, a snake is greeting me. How did you two come along? Quickly, Chen Zhao found out that they were secretly getting into Vincent's car, and when Chen Zhao got in, they also got in the car. Where are we going next? How about sitting at my place? Chen Zhao glanced at Lei Meng beside her. Jelen pursed her lips slightly, with an unusual blush on her face and said, okay. Jelen is a great female companion, and her best thing is that she doesn't overly rely on emotions. They can only be considered stable ***, and they have also made it clear to Chen Zhao in advance that they are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Both parties can pursue their feelings, and when one party feels that it can be ended, they will automatically terminate the relationship. Chen Zhao is also very satisfied with this, as neither of them has any emotional burden. Human, are you satisfied with my service? I won't pursue the two of you who acted recklessly last night, but that doesn't mean you can act recklessly without my permission. If you use your abilities on me or those around me again without my permission, then I don't mind having an extra dragon and tiger pot. You should know that as a Chinese, I don't want to create 100 ways to eat demons in the future when it comes to cooking innovation. Chen, we have another customer. I will send you the address, and this time the customer promises $1,000. Chen Zhao arrived at the client's residence and found out that she was a Hollywood celebrity who had sex with her illness. She even wants to use her body as a reward, instead of $1,000. Unless Chen Zhao went crazy, she would agree to her request, and in the end, she reluctantly paid $1,000. In the following 4 days, Chen Zhao received 3 orders, with the highest price being the little celebrity and the lowest being only $400. The 3 orders were finally settled, deducting Ethan's commission, and amounted to nearly $1,500. However, Chen Zhao is still quite satisfied with such income. At least, such income can barely survive in Los Angeles. The premise is that there is no need to go to the Platinum Building every day to eat big meals, and Jelen is not the kind of vain woman. She has eaten big meals and fast food, and she won't have to pay Chen Zhao every time. Chen Zhao and Golin don't get tired of being together every day either. Both have their own lives and spaces, and they maintain a perfect distance. Chen, where are you going tonight? There is a good barbecue restaurant near my place, and what satisfies me the most is that it allows pets to enter. Okay, I won't be able to come over until 7 o'clock. No problem, I'll wait for you. Unlike the first time Chen Zhao and Golin attended in formal attire, this time both of them wore lighter clothes. Jelen had just come out of the police station, and Chen Zhao noticed that her left waist was slightly bulging, probably carrying a gun. After getting to know each other well, the two of them no longer had any reservations, and they were more free to eat and drink whatever they wanted. Golin knows more or less about Chen Zhao's illegal practice of medicine. However, the two rarely delve into each other's work, which can be considered as a private space left by both parties. Is it really okay for Raymond to eat cooked food like this? Green looked at Raymond on the table, who was sitting in a bowl and then opened his mouth wide, swallowing a piece of meat. Jelen has watched some TV programs about how snakes look when they eat, but she has never seen a snake swallow cooked food. As for the Shapi dog, Beppy is much more normal. Of course, his normality is only relative to Raymond. Beppy stands on a chair with his hind legs and his upper body is lying on the table eating. Jelen's gaze suddenly changed, and Chen Zhao noticed that Jelen's gaze was looking towards her back. Just as she was about to turn back, Jelen said, "Don't turn back." Chen Zhao lowered his head very seriously and continued to eat. He noticed that Golin's hand was touching her waist, as if she was pulling out a gun. Can you explain what the situation is? Chen Zhao asked. The person in front of the counter now is the suspect of 12 robberies and murders, who went to your motel to commit the robbery that day. 3 people have already died in his hands, one of whom is a police officer. Are you planning to arrest him here? There are at least 20 customers in the restaurant, and the suspect can be described as extremely vicious. He could never have been captured without a fight, and the most likely outcome is a gunfight. If it's through the TV screen, Chen Zhao doesn't mind watching a police and bandit battle, but being there, this feeling is quite unpleasant. The little devil and Raymond may be able to help a little, Chen Zhao said. What? They. What can they help? End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Conjections about devil crystals. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Conjections about devil crystals. Thank you for your patronage. The total is $20.3. Phil finished paying the bill, picked up the packaged food, and was about to return to the car when suddenly he felt something stung under his feet. After taking 2 steps, he suddenly felt dizzy. He reluctantly supported himself and took 2 more steps. But in the 3rd step, he finally lost his balance. Phil gritted his teeth and saw that a woman sitting in the corner had already stood up, and from her movements, it was obvious that she was pulling out a gun. Phil often interacts with the police and has been imprisoned 4 times. He has already recognized the woman as a police officer. With a strong will, he pulled out his gun. At that moment, a dark figure pounced and bit into his wrist. Ah! Phil's gun had already fallen to the ground and there was no time to pick it up. Grim had already come forward and kicked the gun open. Don't move. Jelen, he can't move anymore, but I need to give him some first aid. That shop assistant, don't be so nervous. This lady is a police officer, and this person is a wanted criminal. We have already called the police, so we don't need you to call the police. Although Raymond is a demon, he is also a venomous snake carrying neurotoxins. Fortunately, his venom is not very strong, at least much weaker than vipers, and the main function of this toxin is not to kill, but to cause hallucination. In fact, Green misunderstood the wanted criminal Phil, who was poisoned by Raymond. Raymond, on the other hand, is a subordinate demon of the King of Lust. His venom has a hallucinogenic effect and even has an aphrodisiac effect. Therefore, Phil, who is unconscious at this moment, may be having some beautiful dream. Fortunately, the entire process went smoothly, and even Jelen couldn't believe it. A felon who killed 3 people was so easily apprehended. All of this is entirely attributed to Raymond and Bezier, especially Raymond. Jelen has seen well-trained police dogs, and their performance is not inferior to that of other Shibu. The only difference lies in their body size. But she had never seen such a smart pet snake before. Surprisingly, it still knows how to make such complex instructions. Chen Zhao asks it to bite whoever it wants, and it actually bites whoever it wants. When Chen Zhao proposed this plan, Gulin felt that Chen Zhao had gone crazy. How could a snake possibly understand such complex instructions? But the fact proves that Raymond can really do it, and he did it very accurately. It really understands what Chen Zhao means. Chen Zhao gave Phil some blood, at least to prevent him from being poisoned and dying. Although the toxin of Raymond is not very strong, if not treated in a timely manner, there is still a possibility of death. Jelen has handcuffed Phil, who is unconscious, and can now wait for the arrival of the police car and ambulance. Chen, I'm sorry for ruining this dinner. You didn't do anything wrong, there's no need to apologize. Also, thank you, Raymond, the little devil. Chen, do they know what I'm saying? Or do they need any special gestures? No need, they are very smart. Fortunately, there are no cameras in the restaurant. In fact, the coverage of cameras in American cities is far from as high as in China. Because Phil has just been arrested, there are no more dinner and after-dinner programs. Green needs to personally go back to the police station to record the arrest process. However, Green did not reveal the true person involved, only speculating that Phil might have been bitten by a venomous snake when he entered the restaurant. He then had to resist with a gun and was bitten on the wrist by Bessie, without saying Raymond. After all, if it were revealed, he was actually plotted by someone who controlled the venomous snake. Either everyone treated her like a madman, or Raymond entered the laboratory. When Chen Zhao returned home, she found a very large piece of demon crystal in the metal box. Chen Zhao took a cold breath, which was larger than the previous few demon crystals, and combined they were all larger. The first few demon crystals can only be used as units with pieces, while this demon crystal can be used as units with blocks, which is about half the size of an adult's fist. This must have been obtained by catching the fugitive, but catching a fugitive actually gives such a big piece. Is it true that being a police officer catching a bad person is more valuable than being a doctor saving someone? No, it shouldn't be calculated like this. If the person is not caught, it is likely to cause more casualties, which is why the reward is so large. At this moment, Jelen's phone came. Chen, thank you so much today. Jelen, why are you so polite? We shouldn't need to be so polite between us, right? No, it's necessary. You don't know, that bastard. He killed far more than 3 people. We also rescued 3 girls from the temporary shelter he confessed to. Fortunately, we found them in time. Otherwise, their fate would be very tragic. Actually, this is nothing. Chen Zhao speculated in her heart whether this could be something similar to merit. However, this thing was called a demon crystal by the demon, and Chen Zhao took out the previously small demon crystal. You two come over. Humans, what to do? This thing is what you call a demon crystal, isn't it? Yes. So does hell also have this thing? Yes, but very, very rare. What is the usual way to obtain demon crystals in hell? How could an ordinary demon possibly obtain it? Even a great demon would have to pay a great price to obtain it. So who bought the great devil from? It should be a mine. There is very little content in this demon mine. How did the devil's mine come from? After the human soul falls into hell, most of them will suffer torment and suffering due to their sins during their lifetime. After decades or hundreds of years, they will dissipate into fragments. Those great demon lords will bury these fragments in certain special areas. When the number of soul fragments reaches a certain level, after hundreds of years, demon mines will be produced, and demon crystals are the companion minerals of demon mines. Chen Zhao thought for a moment and realized that if this demon crystallization were merit or something like that. So can we infer that those who fall into hell are all sinners, but even sinners may have done some good deeds during their lifetime, so they have accumulated a small amount of merit. After suffering, they turn into soul fragments, which still contain their merit. Over time, after the formation of the demon mine, the merit also condenses into devil crystals. Can only demons use this thing? Of course. Bessie Boo and Raymond said in unison. If anyone tells me that humans can use it, then this demon crystal belongs to them. The 2 demons looked at each other, but neither of them spoke up. Chen Zhao glanced at the 2 demons. It seemed that they were determined not to tell her. End of this chapter. 10, Chapter 10. Doctor's profession is too dangerous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Doctor's profession is too dangerous. Do you think that if you don't tell me, I won't know? I can summon both of you, and of course I can summon a 3rd demon. And then you may lose your job, and maybe you won't be able to obtain demon crystals again in the future. Actually, humans really can't use it. We demons just eat the demon crystals directly, but it seems like you humans can't digest them. Chen Zhao looked at the demon crystal in her hand and said, forget it, the problem cannot be solved temporarily. If the demon crystals can only be eaten, it seems that humans really have no blessings to consume. Is there no more scientific and effective method? In your human words, there is nothing more efficient in nutrient absorption than stomach digestion. Chen Zhao looked at the demon crystal in her hand. Should she give it a try? Perhaps my stomach can digest it even if it can't be digested. It's not a big deal to have a stone. What's the big deal? Forget it. It's still safer. After some thought, Chen Zhao still gave up on this idea. Who knows what side effects it has on the human body? Here you are. Chen Zhao casually threw the small demon crystal to the two demons, letting them fight and grab it themselves. Watching a dog and a snake go back and forth, it's quite exciting. It started to rain outside, and in just a few minutes, the rain grew heavier and heavier. At that moment, Chen Zhao's phone rang. Chen, there's another order, but it's a bit special. It's up to you whether you go or not. What order? It's a gang leader's order with a high price of $3,000. What's wrong with him? Gunshot wound. Is there any danger? If I say it's absolutely safe, then I'm definitely lying to you, but I'm quite familiar with that person and he will abide by the rules. Okay, since you're saying that, then I'll go. Compared to security issues, $3,000 is enough to make Chen Zhao take this risk. At any time, $3,000 is not a small amount, let alone Chen Zhao, who is now very poor. It's already getting late. Chen Zhao called Vincent to ask if he has time. Vincent agreed to come and pick him up, but at double the payment. Vincent took Chen Zhao to a slightly outdated neighborhood, and the street lights were also dim. Do you need me to wait for you here? Vincent knows where this is. Don't stay here. If I need to use the car, I will call you again. It's not very safe here. You can go somewhere else to take a look. I understand. Vincent nodded characteristic. Chen Zhao got off the car, braved the rain and came to the eaves, then knocked on the door. The door opened, and in the dark corridor, a black hole appeared, pointing at Chen Zhao's forehead. At this moment, Chen Zhao regretted Ethan. What about the agreed safety? This is different from what was agreed upon. Hi, I'm a doctor. Ethan introduced me here. At this moment, a hoarse voice came from the hallway. Mowgli, put down the gun, I believe Ethan. Can I come in now? Come on in, kid. Chen Zhao entered the hallway and into the small room inside, saying, It's too dark here, turn on the lights. Mowgli, turn on the lights. The light turned on, and Chen Zhao saw a man half paralyzed on the sofa, covered in blood all over his body, with 4 gunshot wounds. His abdomen and chest were casually wrapped in gauze, and blood was still oozing at the moment. The man's body was somewhat damp, not only with blood, but also with sweat. It is evident that he is in great pain now. Chen Zhao sat next to the sofa and said, Can you tell me when you were shot? In the morning. Be precise. It's been about 14 or 15 hours, right? Chen Zhao opened the gauze and said, The bullet has not been removed yet, it is very likely that you have been infected, and you have lost too much blood. Over the past few days, Chen Zhao has discovered her biggest obstacle in practicing medicine, which is the lack of a source of medication. Some diseases can be treated with acupuncture and moxibustion, but some injuries must be treated with Western medicine. But without a medical license, even the most ordinary amoxicillin cannot be obtained. The best way to treat inflammation is to use amoxicillin. Of course, Yunnan Baiyao also has good effects. Chen Zhao does not have amoxicillin, but Yunnan Baiyao. And Chen Zhao had to help him remove the bullet, and Chen Zhao didn't even have painkillers. Don't worry, just help me with the treatment. Whether it's good or bad, I will pay, the man said weakly. However, the bald Mowgli standing on the side definitely wouldn't really listen to his boss. He has been looking at Chen Zhao with a cold gaze all along. If his boss had something good or bad, maybe Chen Zhao wouldn't have to walk out alive. I need to give you an injection to relieve pain before I can help you retrieve the bullet. I'm not afraid of pain. This is necessary, not a matter of fear. Often, courage is not equal to vitality. Severe pain can accelerate your blood and endocrine system. You have already lost a little too much blood, and if you shed a little more blood, you may have to go to heaven. Okay, I will cooperate with you. Chen Zhao carefully applied the needle, identifying the acupoints without any deviation. Not only for the patient's life, but also for one's own life. After completing the injection to relieve pain, Chen Zhao gently pressed the edge of the wound and said, "Do you feel it?" "Yes, but it won't hurt." "It's good if you feel it, but if you don't feel it, it means there's already nerve necrosis nearby." Chen Zhao took out the surgical knife. Firstly, there was a gunshot wound in the abdomen, and the bullet did not penetrate deeply. After opening the wound, it could be seen with the naked eye. The entire process takes no more than 10 minutes, and the first bullet has been removed. However, when Chen Zhao was examining the chest wall, she found that the bullet was stuck on the aorta next to the ventricle, which was very dangerous. "This bullet is too troublesome, take the other 2 bullets first." Chen Zhao could only temporarily give up this bullet. The other highlights are not only on the thighs and shoulders, but also not very difficult, and the entire process is only 20 minutes. However, he still had to face the gunshot wound in the chest in the end. Chen Zhao frowned and pondered. Suddenly, Chen Zhao saw a shadow beside her and was startled. "What's wrong?" That was a shameless person, wearing a black robe with a hood and a blank face, holding a rusty sickle in his hand. Death. He is the Grim Reaper. Absolutely not wrong, death is here. Chen Zhao's forehead was sweating with cold sweat. Who did he come for? No matter who it is for, it will not be a good thing for Chen Zhao. If this black gang leader dies, he won't be able to live either. Calm down, calm down. You must calm down. This big shot can't die. He will die even if he dies. At this moment, Chen Zhao regretted why she was so obsessed with money and why she didn't bring the 2 demons. If they are here, perhaps there is still a chance. End of this chapter.